For election is upon us. And of course, Christians are quite divided on the topic. Some say you got to vote for Trump. Some say you got to vote for Kamala. Some say they don't even know what to do. And some say you shouldn't vote at all. But today in this video, I'm going to be highlighting two Reformed preachers, Matt Chandler versus John Macarthur. But first, I wanted to highlight something that happened at a Kamala Harris rally where someone screamed out, "Jesus is Lord, see what she does."
Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally. No, I think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street.
Isn't that very interesting? You're at the wrong rally. And in contrast, someone screams out, "Jesus is Lord" at a J.D. Vance rally. Let's hear what he has to say.
Anti-Christian rhetoric and anti-Christian approach to public policy. I don't think that we've, that's right, Jesus is king, and I don't think that we've seen... I don't think that we've seen anything like this in modern American politics.
Contrasts between the two individuals there are very alarming and shocking. Here you have Kamala say, "Don't say it here, you're not welcome here, you're at the wrong rally." And then J.D. Vance clearly says, yes, Jesus is king, he is Lord. And now we're going to look at the contrast of the 2024 vote from Matt Chandler's perspective. Let's give him a listen.
In 1972, go read their charter. Not a single word about God or abortion in there. They were losing elections. They developed a strategy in the 70s to co-opt us and make us their people. They know we're easily manipulated. We are easily worked into a frenzy. We can be controlled by them. And that's what they did. And they are not for us. They do not all believe what we believe. This is a strategy. So I feel used by them. When they talk about us and to us, I feel in my guts, like, get my name out of your mouth. You do not represent me.
Now, I was quite disturbed that Matt Chandler came out and said those things. And to his defense, before this, in that same sermon, he denounced the Democrats as really demonic and serving the god of Molech as they offer up their children up for abortion. But I was not happy personally with what he said here. But in contrast, I want you to listen to what John Macarthur says about the 2024 election.
You mentioned the upcoming election. I know that's something that is on everyone's mind with just 3 weeks left, less than 3 weeks. You wrote the book a number of years ago, Why Government Can't Save You. Shepherd us a little bit, shepherd our hearts, because it's difficult not to become anxious when we think about what maybe could happen in November. Mm-hmm. So help us think through, how do we approach this? And
well, the other day, Kamala Harris said, "This is the most election ever." So and then in a meeting, somebody cried out, "Jesus is Lord." Did you see that? Somebody said, "Jesus is Lord," and she immediately said, "You're in the wrong place." What else do you need to know? Jesus is not Lord in that place. Now, I'm not saying that Jesus is not Lord over the universe. I'm not saying that Jesus is more lord over the Republicans. But I'm telling you, he's not there. Not when you kill babies and mutilate children and destroy marriage. So the simple thing in this kind of an election is you can't be on that side. You take the best of, maybe not the best choices, you take the best. Who's going to do the most, or you could do it negatively. Who would do the most damage to the family? Who would do the most damage to children? Who would do the most damage to the culture? Who would do the most damage to morality? Who would put us in a most insecure and unsafe position when government is designed to protect law-abiding people and punish evildoers? I mean, it's a clear-cut choice. It's not. Are the Republicans everything they should be? Of course not. But you vote, in a sense, preventatively to stop something, to stop the rampage and the thievery that goes on in a redistribution of people's resources. Because if you don't work, you don't eat. So that's the best that can be said about an election. We're not electing a pastor or pastors or elders or church leaders. I think it comes down to one dominating thing. Who would keep us and our children most safe? Safe from the encroachment of enemies, terrorists, immorality, corruption, child mutilators, criminals. Because that's government's role, to protect those who do good and punish those who do evil. So who is most likely to do that? Who has the clearest sense of justice and righteousness? Is it all that it should be? No. But there's a pretty clear distinction in this particular election. I don't think it's hard.
I agree with John Macarthur on this one. Not because I'm Baptist, not because I like him, but I think he makes the most sense from a biblical perspective. We want to be salt and light in this world. We don't want to stand for gender transition. People who are against marriage, and in essence, people who hate Christians like the Democrats clearly do. And we see this with what Gretchen Whitmer did in mocking communion, and we see it with what Kamala Harris said there. And strangely enough, Kamala Harris showed up at a church just after saying that the next day. But I stand with John Macarthur. We want to preserve truth and preserve, good in society, and therefore we must vote Republican.